Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Monday, and it is April 1st. April Fool's Day.
Right, we are not foolish here. We are in our feelings. We're not foolish. We're in our feelings.
We are in our feelings. Well, my beautiful people, I want to welcome you all to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we're going to dive into a topic that is truly the cornerstone of our personal growth, and that's about celebrating our progress. Small wins with big impact. It's easy to overlook the small victories in our journey towards self-love and personal development, but today we are here to shine a light on that monumental importance. And we're honored to have Dr. Will with us as we beacon on this wisdom. You ready?
I'm magnificent and manly today. Let's do this.
Well, okay. Magnificent and manly.
I'm feeling it today. Feeling grown today.
You feeling grown? That's what I'm talking about. That grown man. You got that. You look like you got that.
Yeah.
You just all up
I want it all. And then some.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, my beautiful people. So let's do this. We're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this celebrating progress. And I cannot stress it more about those small wins are so important. And we're gonna talk about those small wins. All right. It's your girl, you got it, Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, my beautiful people, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am here with our resident therapist, Dr. Will. Hey.
I am wonderful and William today.
All right, manly and magnificent. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, today we're talking about celebrating progress, the small wins and big impact. And you guys know, if you're new here, just stay just for about good 60 seconds. But those that have been with us for the past 99 episodes.
99, that's crazy.
99.
Wow, that's an accomplishment. That's huge.
Yes, 99 episodes. You know what time it is. This is where we do a nice guided breathing meditation to help us to, get prepared for the topic in hand. And today is all about celebrating our small wins. So here we go. Find a comfortable position and close your eyes. Now I want you to inhale deeply through your nose, feeling the breath. Feel your lungs as you reflect on recent small wins that you've experienced. Now I want you to hold that breath for a moment. I want you to savor that positive impact that it had on your day. Now exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any remaining tension or doubt. And as you breathe out, I want you to visualize the small win growing in significance, radiating positive throughout your mind and body. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply, I want you to focus on the joy and the gratitude that this small win has brought you. Feel the sense of accomplishment and pride welling up inside of you, knowing that even the smallest of victories can have a big impact on your overall well-being. Now I want you to take one final deep breath in, filling yourself up with confidence and optimism. And as you exhale, I want you to open your eyes with a newfound appreciation for the power of celebrating small wins and creating more fulfilling and meaningful life. And I want you to remember that small wins is a step forward on our journey to success. And I want you to embrace them. I want you to celebrate them and let them fuel your motivation to achieve even greater things. You are capable of great things, one small win at a time. You are worthy of all. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. And as always, if you're new here, this is something that we do every Monday through Friday here on the Season of Self-Love. Like I said, it helps us to prepare and get ready for it. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic because we don't do it enough. We don't celebrate those small wins because we truly don't understand how impactful that they can be on our lives, on our growth in what we do. So, Dr. Will, you ready?
I am so ready. I'm so still and just like focused. Like my focus is so like I don't know. Like I am like right here. There's nothing. There's nothing around me right now. I'm
I
like
see.
I'm there. I'm there. Like this can be really destructive energy if I decide to touch something. So this is great. It can be. I'm so focused. I'm so focused.
That I hope that's a good thing. I truly do. I hope
It's a
that's
great thing. It's a
okay.
great
That's a great. I like that confidence when you say, "Oh no, this is a great thing." I like that.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. Because I'm used to doing 8 things at once, and right now I'm just doing one thing. Like all those 8 parts of me are doing one thing at the same time. I'm here.
Well, you know what? Well, I appreciate you sharing this moment with me, with us,
Uh,
in doing this. Well, thank you. I'm watching something in real time right now. I'm watching
right,
something.
real time. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
hmm
okay. Can I feel that through there? Can I feel that through there? Let me see if I can feel it.
All this, just all that. You got it.
Yeah.
All you want.
Yeah.
All you want.
All right, so let's dive into the discussion. So I got a question for you. What is it so crucial for us? Why is it so crucial for us to celebrate our progress, no matter how small?
Mm. It's so important. Simply put, we have the cognitive distortion that we have to be the winner or the loser, the best or the worst, the greatest or the least. We live in such a binary mindset in this world that we don't actually take value in the progress that we make. And also in capitalism, we sell, hey, this is the product you want to buy. This is the product you got to have. This is the number one movie in America. That's happened every single year. That's why every movie just be the number one movie every year. It's not realistic. And so we have a lot of unrealistic expectations. And those small wins are ways that you measure the consistency. Because the truth is that if you want true change, you have to be consistent in your adjustments.
Mhm. Mm, I like that. It took a minute for me to truly appreciate the small wins. I share a lot, and I say this a lot because I come from, and I won't say an era, but I come from my lifestyle of always rushing and being number one, competing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And in that, it never allowed me to live in the moment. Never
Mhm.
allowed me to live in the moment. So I was always preparing for something bigger. So I never can be in this moment and
Mm.
and so when those little wins do come, I wasn't able to appreciate those little wins because my bigger picture or my bigger goal or result was there, you know. Just like I was last week on I believe it was on Thursday's show, I talked about the ending of the first third quarter. And a lot of people, I'm one of them that kind of break down my goals, with 4 quarters in the year. And we usually have these goals and that we try to get to, you know, and if we get to those goals, we're successful, and when we don't, we get hard on ourselves, and we get the feeling down,
Mm.
and it kind of
Yeah.
throws everything else, haywire. And now that I have now brought something else onto my plate and some other things on my own, more on my plate, I'm starting to realize that even though I'm doing it all, I don't have to do it all at one time. You understand what
Mm.
I'm saying? And then within those different things, there are small wins that I'm doing it. And it can be as small as, wow, I was able to complete 2 things in this one thing today versus that I probably wouldn't be able to get to it at all. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And so for me, it's even that small. Like I used to say before about making my bed. Probably about 2 years ago, I would not make my bed. I would get up and move and do around and whatever, whatever. Now
Mhm.
I have to start my day off with making my bed. And when I look back, I'm so proud of that because if I had my mom in here, she'd be like, this girl would never make her bed. I used to get on punishment for not making my bed.
Wow. But think how powerful that is. Like your small wins create the identity you validate yourself in, right? Those small things validate the identity and how you show up in this world. And so when I see people not doing well and I can see it on them, I ask myself, what did you prepare yourself for your own failure? How did you prepare your failure? Like people prepare their own failure just as much as their success. And so it's all about preparation. Preparation has no positive or negative value. It's just preparation. And what you do with it is what the result is and how well you do it. And so I just really think about how when people prepare their own failure by not actually investing the actual moments of their small wins. Small
Right.
wins are so validating to your identity.
It is. So let me ask you this, because that was a very strong statement that you made about preparing for your failure. So how can someone
Mhm.
recognize if they are preparing for their failure? Because sometimes we don't know. I believe, was it Friday that, or what was that statement that you had made about, oh my God, what was it? Shit,
What about the lessons? People live in their people live well they live in they live their lessons. They don't live in what they learned.
that was
Living
one.
through your learning.
It was the preparation one. It was the
Oh, don't prepare yourself out of your own plan.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that
Yep.
one. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So if you just real quickly, if you can tell the audience, how can you acknowledge or how can you see, like, okay, how am
Mhm.
I preparing? What signs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, you're gonna have a dissociative feeling. You're gonna be split in all the ways that you could be doing something. So the shoulda, woulda, coulda mindset is gonna be activated. That's the first thing, right? Then you're gonna be focused on your potential about all the things you could do, things you could do. What are you doing, right? Just focus on the potential of things. And the last thing is you're wondering how other people are going to react. So you're going to be worrying about everything else in your environment and how that's going to be moving rather than just focusing on your own impact in life.
Mhm.
So those are the 3 ways to look at that.
Oh, and when you said that, I was like, damn, he is so right. Because I remember things that I was doing in life, trying to get preparing for what I thought was greatness. And I was worried about every damn thing but me going through the process of me. Yes, everything else. And now I don't.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Mm-mm. That's that goddess energy though you got. That's that
Yeah.
goddess energy you got though.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't. It's like I had did a show. And and I'm gonna have to talk to you about this again down the line. I did this, it just came up to me. I woke up one morning and this message came to me is I deserve respect. So last week I did an entire show,
Ooh.
respect.
Can we do a talk about that sometime about respect? Because I had a talk with 3 other therapists about the word respect and disrespect, and they
Yes.
all did not have an answer about that. They
Mm,
all didn't.
yeah.
We don't know how to deal with disrespect. We don't know how to deal with respect. That's a whole. We need to have a talk about that.
Yeah, we do. You know, in that process, it was funny because when it came to me, I was like, is that talking about me? Like, is it for me or is it
Yeah.
for me to speak and say out, you know, towards it? And what I come to realize is that a lot of times that people, what I've learned is that the word disrespect can be used as a tool and it can be used as a weapon. And see, when we don't understand that words are powerful, you understand what I'm saying? And people can use words
are
to
bonds.
manipulate. Yes, it can manipulate somebody. It can, you know, raise somebody up or it can break somebody down, especially when you yourself do not have self-respect for yourself. Because if you had self-respect for yourself, you would take a pause and you will acknowledge what words is about to come out of your mouth when you respond to someone, that you can look at them in a different perspective, that you can see, okay, wait a minute, maybe something going on with them or why they do A, B, C, or D. You know what I'm saying? Or just because they're not living or doing what I expect or see or even speaking or saying, or I might disagree. Let me hold off. Let me think about the words is it respectful for me?
Yeah.
You know, not about you, but is it respectful for me? And
Yeah.
I believe that, and I want to bring that topic back somewhere down the line this month because I think it's amazing to be able to sit in and dissect that word. You know, and it's 2 words: is I deserve respect in the self-respect, because you can't have respect for anyone else unless you know what self-respect is for you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't think that we really understand that when you learn to respect yourself, you learn to value what you do. And when I see people celebrating those small wins, I think about how much they really respect the craft and what they're actually being a part of.
Yeah.
They're part of the process. You are a part and you are aware of the process. And if you can't value something small, you'll never be able to value something large.
Yes.
It'll never work. It'll never work.
Man, you over here talking now. I mean, you really talking,
Yeah.
because these are like things. When I say last week, I was going through it, but it was an amazing journey just in that 1 week of going through. When I say it was so many downloads and messages that was just coming through, and you know, I was just coming and just speak about it, either that or even through posts that I, you know, talking. Not only was I talking to me, but I knew somebody needed to hear a lot of those things, you know, with the compassion, as well as, you know, living through the process, trusting the process, trusting yourself in the process, being bold, living loudly through the process. And what I mean by that is like people say, you know, Naomi, you be just working out, you don't do your hair. No. I wash my ass. I get up and because I know what I'm doing. First of all, I'm doing it to feed my spirit and my soul. And if anybody can see
Your process
in that raw, in that authentic way, then that's it to it.
Oh, and that burns me. That burns me up because it really it's just crazy when you're in your process and you're in your flow and you're in your purpose, and people have all these words to criticize what you're doing, and you're just truly believing in what you're doing. And then when they see you on the podium, they see you at the end, they see you having the awards, they see you on these big stages, they see you on these big platforms, and then they want to know, well, how did you get there? Well, you weren't there when I had to go downstairs and work out for that 15 minutes and make this post. They didn't see the prepping that you did to get the click record. They didn't see the actual process of you having to make sure all this recording devices were right. They didn't understand all these little processes, and those are small wins that allow you to digest that. Everybody always has an opinion about how things should be when they never took the time to realize what were the things that they saw behind the scenes to make sure that they could be in front of you.
Yes.
And the fact that you're just showing a glimpse of what you might be doing, they think that they have it all figured out. And that type of ignorance is how you can never celebrate yourself if you think
Right.
that much like that.
No,
You never could.
Mm-mm.
You never could.
You know, and just going through, and I know we have some listeners here that listen to us, and I hope that they take heed in this. When I say every small win counts, every small win counts.
Yes.
No matter what the people outside say. No, remember, you are your own self-validation. That's what we got to start learning. We are our own self-validation. Anything extra out, that's extra. That is so extra. And I'm telling you this, if I can stand fullness in my nakedness and with courage, just know, and I celebrate all of my small wins. Everything. If 2 or 3 people go and follow the season of self-love, I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm so gracious for everything that I have now and what's coming to me. I do.
Because you meant it. You believed in it. And so whether it's one person or it's a million people, the fact is that you meant it. You meant it the first time you tried it. And then I tell people, even just having celebration of how you wake up in the morning, the fact that you wake up in the morning, like I pride myself on waking up early in the morning now, because I know that I had to work to get there. Yeah. And so like just being able to wake up early in the morning, that's my win. Yeah. And the thing is that the beautiful thing about small wins is that even if you don't win on the small win, it's a small mistake that you can actually correct. Right? You can correct small errors, right? And so like, that's why I tell when I'm teaching music to kids, I'm like, if you make a mistake, make the mistake loud so we know that it's a mistake. Just make sure that your mistake, you know it's a mistake. Because if you confuse a mistake and a win, then you didn't understand how to correct yourself in the first place. And the learning that and that correction, that's the win right there. That's the win.
I like that. I like that. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Okay, Dr. Weir, go dropping them gems over there.
You got it. I got it.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, I got some more questions. I got some more questions for you because this, I'm feeling very, very goddess-like today. No.
I needed that. I need to be the witness for that. Thank you.
All right, it's your girl, the Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. William C. Washington, aka Dr. Will, your friendly neighborhood counselor. One of the biggest things that I want to tell you about is that I'm a health psychologist, a licensed professional clinical counselor supervisor, an MDMA-assisted therapist, a ketamine-assisted therapist, a psychedelic integration prep specialist. I'm a researcher, a mentor, a supervisor, and also an artist. One of the biggest things about Washington Wellness Institute is that I created this to modernize the way that we look into the world. And I hate to say it, but we're finally getting rid of the old ways of thinking. I want to bring in the silver age of psychology. And to do that, I've even created a model called restorative enhancement modality that focuses on motive and purpose to make healing a lifestyle. I want to offer this to you. I want to offer this to the world and to anyone that's ready to learn. So, if you're ready, sign up today. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self Love podcast. And I am here with Dr. Will. Hey.
I'm feeling so good right now. I'm eager and just like engulfed in this. I'm eager and engulfed in this. This is great.
Well, that's what I'm talking about today. We're talking about celebrating progress, them small wins with those big ass impact, no big impact.
I love that. I love this. That's good.
With a big impact. Man, let me say this. I am truly over the moon because so let me come back. When I talked about creating the season of self-love, it was, and I don't know if you know this, Dr. Will, but it was just supposed to be just a series for a month. It was to do one show. It was supposed to only be 4 episodes every Tuesday for the month of, I believe it was October. That was my birthday month. And I remember after my third episode, I remember going into my golden rose room, and I remember sitting there, and I remember meditating, closing my eyes, and this was just coming to me that I was supposed to be doing this every day, Monday through Friday. And I remember sitting, with it in, I was like, every day, every day, every day, every day. And so I remember once I left out, I remember taking my baby girl to school, coming home. Well, actually, I took a walk around the park, and I went and did my meditation there in my little spot as well, and sat in it for a moment. And I came home, and I remember starting to make an outline. I remember to start to make an outline of things, and then I allow self-doubt to get in the way. Like, you ain't gonna be able to do all of this. You it's still like you're supposed to have started this course. You're supposed to start a course. You're supposed to, it's like everything that I was supposed to be starting to do, how am I gonna do that with doing this? And so it took me 3 days to come to like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I had to keep going into that room and finding my courage. Finding my courage and understanding that
Interesting.
just because it was a message that came to me, it was no wait, postpone. And a lot of the projects that I've already had there ready to go, those were to be postponed. And so that gave me permission to go ahead and do the season of self-love and, to go with it. And I remember the end of towards December, and I remember feeling a little overwhelmed. Was like, how am I going to be able to do this every day and do Ask Nyomi on Thursdays and get, and produce both of these shows? And I remember, and I believe I shared the story with everyone, is about I had sat at my altar and I just sat there and I talked and I prayed and I asked, send me somebody to help me with what's happening and what's going on. You know what work I'm trying to do. You know everything that I'm trying to do. And I remember even thinking about, okay, I'm going to go pick up another one. So let me go back a little bit. I was going to go enroll into UNLV because I was going to pick up some more courses to in psychology and some other things. And literally, I went to turn on the TV and there was a mass shooting at UNLV.
Wow.
Then the next morning when I went into my room, it told me that I was good enough. I didn't need any more training, that I had enough already.
Yeah.
So like you said about setting, about sometimes we set ourselves up for failure. That is what I had went through that first month or 2 months of doing this. Like I was literally preparing myself for failure. That's when you said, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to do this. How's it going to affect this? How's it going to do this? And all, around. And I just kept getting signs. No, you're on the right path. Keep going. Keep facing your true north. You okay. Stop thinking about that. You are worthy. Keep going. There will be people that's going to be whipping at you where you are. Continue to keep shining. Continue
Right.
going, because there is more that is coming for you. So as I'm seeing that, that's why I said, wait, hold on. Now all this stuff coming, I need some help. But then the question was, are you open to receive the help? Are you open to remove your pride aside and be open to receive this help?
Yes. I love that, because the truth is that in all your small wins, it gets you prepared to get help for the big impact. A lot of the big impacts that we make are because someone is also helping us in that process.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't realize that there are people that are catalysts to do that, because they've worked hard enough to get to the same space that you are, so they actually make all your small wins one big impact.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the process. No one that makes these monumental celebrations, they aren't thinking of the impact end goal of all this. They're just doing what they know is flowing for them. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, when we don't go with the flow of who we are, we don't get to really celebrate ourselves in a way that is more authentic to ourselves. And that is the goal. That is the path. That is the most divine route, is when you don't have to force anything to be who you are, and people can see and benefit from that. That is purpose. That is purpose led. And that's the truth. And so the fact that your no's were actually, your small no's were big yeses.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yep, those. Ooh, say that again. Y'all hear that? Say that again. Say that
Yeah.
again.
Some of those small no's are going to be big yeses.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we be up in here now. We be up in here.
It'd be warm in here. It'd be warm in here. It's warm in here.
Right? I'm saying, did we even ask a question? No, we didn't ask a question. We just went right here.
Right.
All right, Dr. Will. So I do have a question for you. All right. So
Okay.
in your experience, how does celebrating our progress impact our mental well-being? But also, let me go a little stuff first. Let's stop that, because you already answered that. All right. In what ways do small wins contribute to building motivation and momentum towards a larger goals? And can you explain? I'm going to give you two. And can you explain the psychological mechanism behind why acknowledging and celebrating wins is important for personal development?
Yeah. So I'll keep it simple. It's considered positive reinforcement, right? You have to, just because you're doing good at something doesn't mean you're going to continue to do it. And so what that consistency needs is reinforcement. That's why you should have small rewards for the things that you do. Hey, I woke up today earlier than normal. Let me celebrate by giving myself more rest time, or give myself a nap later on. You want to be able to reinforce what the positive impact you're actually doing, right? And so when you have a win and you have that consistency, you have to think about, how am I reinforcing this goodness that's occurring? How am I reinforcing this goodness that is occurring? And when you realize that, it's funny, when you actually do something good and you want to reinforce it, you do something actually more positive to continue the goodness.
Yeah.
So it's, once again, you're learning how to self-worth your actions. And so you're learning the value of self-worth. And psychologically speaking, you're also training your mind and your psyche to believe in the consistency of goodness rather than negativity, which takes away. So when you think of positivity, I don't mean good. When I say negative, I don't mean bad. I mean positivity as in pulling in and pushing into something. And negativity is taking something away, right? Removing something for the reinforcement. So negative reinforcement is me removing something away when something happens. And positive reinforcement is me putting something into something to continue the behavior that is occurring. So focus on, how am I going to positively reinforce this goodness? That is the way to do it.
I like that. I like that. All right. So here's another question, because actually I had to scroll down, because you actually answered several different questions within that.
I talk too much. See, that's my problem. I'm trying to get better about this whole question thing. I'm trying to get better about this. Your questions be so layered, and I'm like, well, I could give a level 1, 2, or 3, and I'm be trying to struggle about this.
All right. So here's a question. Can you share any research or evidence that supports the notion that acknowledging small wins could lead to a significant positive changes in our behavior and attitude?
Yes. So
I love using the imago theory as a way of relational functioning. And in the imago theory, it's understanding that the way we speak to each other, the way that we reinforce the way we show up for each other, there is a language that needs to go about that. We are so focused on hyper independence that we actually lose out on the value of connectivity. We are not individualistic people. Our culture reinforces right. Our culture positively reinforces hyper individuality, individualism. Our culture does that. But the truth is, as human beings, we are truly collectivistic people. We need other people to survive. We need community to survive. We need community to thrive. So the imago theory just reminds us that we need to understand that connectivity is the answer to any positive reinforcement or goodness. So the truth is that if you feel like you're doing everything on your own, and you feel like you're just, oh, it's all me. Oh, I gotta make this goal. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're going to get tired. You're gonna become resentful. You're gonna become regretful, and you're gonna actually be remorsed. You're gonna have guilt or shame about how you think you had to be successful.
Yeah.
When the truth is that you should have been strong enough to be vulnerable and ask for help.
Yeah. You know, as you said that, I received that because that was me. That was me. I think we talked about it. Was it last show, or would you talk about it between last week's show?
We probably talked between, yeah. We probably talked about it between.
We talked about
Mhm.
between. So I just as you say that, I remember sitting down having a conversation when I went through the little spiel of me of a conversation that I was having with someone else, and that I had to go and we talked about it in the show, and I had to go and kind of check myself a little bit on how I received that trigger that I received from that. But then I had to understand that I am a type of person that is the hypertension individual that always was the one that everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. Yeah. And I really never had anybody and that will come in on that same level as me, in that same intention as me, with that same energy. And so it was that interaction when you said that just now, that reminded me of that's what that interaction was, is that I wasn't familiar with that coming because I'm always the one that's always doing. Yes. And that's where, for me, I had to say, hold on, you got to check yourself, because you're not the only individual that is possessed with that energy, with that power, with those gifts like that. And even though through your life, you've been surrounded with people that, kind of like didn't have the courage or the power to stand there, and you were standing there alone.
I think you got it all.
Holding them up. There is someone now that can just do the same thing, to where now you can kind of hold each other up. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. Where now you actually are able to share this with each other, and with the world. But now you can truly give back to the world as needed, and not be burned out, as you said, stress, have resilience. You know what I'm saying? So now it's more of a collective, with it, rather than it's just one person there. And so this is your time that we're giving you a moment so you can go and be able to breathe and allow someone else to take, over, because it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you are. It's bigger than all of us. Yeah.
And the truth is that once you get to that point of success, the truth is that you actually share it, right? If you truly are successful at what you do, if you're really good at what you do, you will give it to other people, and they will run with it too. So those are my torch carriers. I know who a torch carrier is. When I see you and you make me feel like I have the light next, the fact that you can put a fire into my hands, that's one of the biggest gifts in forms of flattery that you can give somebody, is giving them their own fire and seeing if they're willing to hold it. That's how you know you have something right and pure.
Yeah.
That's really how you know.
Yeah. It's just funny that, oh my God, boy, you was over here just putting confirmations over here, because I was just speaking this last week, and I was saying to myself, I talk to myself a lot. I was just saying to myself, I said, what, sometimes you are used as a vessel sometimes to give to others, meaning that it's not meant for you. It's meant to go through you for them. So I did that possibly think, oh, I can, and you give it to somebody and they run with it, allow that. It wasn't meant for you. You were just used as that vessel to be able to give it to that person, because otherwise that person probably wouldn't have been able to do it. So it wasn't meant for you. So when I said that to myself the other day, I was able to forgive all of those people that I felt that have taken something or an idea or something away from me. And so I was able to see
Yes.
that aspect that it really wasn't meant for me. That wasn't mine. That wasn't mine. It was just
It wasn't
given to
yours.
me. It was just used through me to give it to them. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
doing, yeah, we doing it. And I think that is the next step in this. I feel like that is the next step, and that is truly the next step of all the success.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how you're gonna be towards other people, and what does that mean for you. I'm excited because I've been affected by you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been affected by you. So it's just like, what is the next thing? What is the next thing for you? What is the next small win? Because the truth is that that's going to push something. It's going to keep breaking doors down, and then you're going to enter the house that you yours. And that is like so exciting to know that you can own small wins,
Yeah.
and you know it's truly yours, right? You know it's truly yours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Yeah.
get to have that. We don't.
Yeah. Yeah. This let me just stop it up. This is some good one. This is some good
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, this is some good one. So the month of April is it's a good month for me. And I'm gonna say this. I've created, well, I'm doing a tea party. And I'm doing a tea party where I call it my purposeful nine. So my purposeful
Mm.
nine is pink and purpose, living pink. It's purposeful, is pink, living pink purposefully. Pink is my favorite color. Nine is my angel number. And so I've chosen 9 women in my life that I can share feminine energy with throughout my whole life. And I sent them out an invitation to have a tea party at my house, or a whole thing that we would
Oh, I
do.
love that.
Uh, um,
Love
just a beautiful ritual of things to help celebrate not only them being in my life and watching myself transcend and transform into this goddess that I
Mhm.
am, but also so I'm able to talk into them, and that we are able to talk into one another. You understand what I'm saying? And for that, I know that's going to grow into something that's so amazing and big, because I'm working on this other project with this beautiful young lady. And I know we were aligned to be in each other's lives, probably for this very thing. Not only that I'm learning from her, but also her learning from me, and able to heal in ways that we probably couldn't heal, or whether she couldn't be able to heal on her own, as well as myself. So for me, April is truly the month of blossoming um,
Yeah, I love that.
new things, new awareness. Yeah, I got a message yesterday to
Mm.
the um, the death and the rebirth, and I was told to bring the death of my old way of thinking. you know. When I read that, I've gotten that before, but when I read it this time, it hit differently, because I knew exactly what it meant. It meant that, I no longer have to move with fear, that I can bring down those shades and understand that if I truly surrender
Mm.
like I said I will, then I will allow these different changes to come into my life, and understand that they were meant to be there because you asked for them. When they say, be careful what you ask
Mhm.
for. Yeah, because are you ready for them? That's what I said. When you say be careful what you ask for, that means, are you ready for them?
Yeah.
And I'm ready, and I've been ready for them, but I allow my old mindset, my old things, my ancestral, things, everything from there to stop me. And even by using my mom's diagnosis as kind of like a blockage. No, I don't look at it.
Right.
I look at, if anything, that's another thing. There's another part of my purpose is for that. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not looking at it as a curse.
Mm.
I'm looking at it as a blessing, because there's so many things that we can learn from that, not only for me and her, but also for other people, for my children, for my children's children, for other people's children, that maybe we take a more holistic, or, maybe this is what kickstarts there, where I am truly 10 toes down in it. But also I'm taking a woman that's 73 years old, and I'm helping to change her mindset at such an old age, because once you old,
they become their own child again, right?
yeah. And so it's in that process of enjoying it and in living it. And so I'm creating on my YouTube page called Living Through Dimension. And I don't know how it's going to, come about, but I'm just, shooting video of it and just living through it from that aspect. And I'm not allowing that to slow me down, because with my old thing, it's like, damn, I'm gonna do this because I got to make sure that my mom is good. I got to make sure she good. And they said, no, you got to make sure you good.
You're good.
Because if you're not good, then you can't do nothing for nobody else.
Yes.
And that's what we got.
This is what the blossom is. That's not blossoming, though.
Yeah.
But a blossom is not waiting for anybody, right? A blossom doesn't wait for the applause. A blossom doesn't wait for someone to be like, "Oh, can you open up again?" You talk about blossom. Blossom is one of the most selfish things that a plant does. I feel like I got my soil, I got my water, I prepared myself. I'm gonna come out and get the sun I deserve to have. Blossoming is one of the most selfish experiences of nature, because it's gonna do whatever you like it or not. You can't force it. You cannot force it. You can't. Like, you can't force what you are.
Yes. No, you cannot. You cannot force it, and you cannot hide it. As long as you try it, you can. It's gonna come out and allow it to.
Yes. So that was the perfect word, especially for what you're about to be blossoming into now. That's truly its own rebirth in itself. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I had another question for you. Hold on. All right. So here's another question. We can close it out. All right. Are there any potential downsides or risks associating with focusing too much on celebrating small wins? And how can we strike a balance in our approach?
Let me answer this with a question real quick. Are you asking me about the value of an impact in relationship, or the value of wins in a relationship? You asked.
Oh my God, because I didn't even think about it the other way. I only thought about it one way. And I'm getting ready to say this, because I only thought about it one way, and you have two ways to answer, then you answer them both ways.
Yeah, that was a very powerful question. Can you ask it again? So I'm gonna listen to one way. Say it one more time, because that was actually really great when you said that.
Yeah. It says, are there any potential downsides or risks associated with focusing too much on celebrating small wins? And how can we strike a balance in our approach?
You have to understand, why do you want to celebrate? Why do you feel like you deserve the celebration? If you don't understand the why of your celebration, other people will tell you why you need to celebrate, which changes the entire value of the intention why you want to win in the first place. So you have to understand, why are you celebrating? So when I go to a restaurant and I go eat, they're like, "Oh, are we celebrating anything?" "Yes, we are." I'm like, "What are you celebrating?" Understand why. "Oh, I woke up today and I got all my things done today. I'm celebrating." "Oh, that's a good reason." Every time, ask yourself, why am I celebrating this? For me, I celebrate everything. I celebrate everything. So for me, it's I got so used to celebrating, I knew what kind of party I want to have. So it's just one of those things where you have to understand why and what is the reason. If you don't do that, other people will take away the reason why you're celebrating, and it changes the value of everything. So understand your why and the reasoning of that. Give your celebration an actual purpose and a foundation.
Yeah.
I tell my friends all the time. Like, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm celebrating you." Why? Like, I saw that post you made on Facebook about, doing this. I'm taking you out. Come on. They're like, "What? But it was just a come on out." And they're like, "Wow." And they actually talk. You learn it's actually the reason why they did it was a lot deeper. And then you're like, "Why didn't you say all that on Facebook?" Well, I didn't really think you need to celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I did.
Yeah.
It's always what we ever think it is.
Yeah. I was thinking something else in here with that question, and with and talking about the association, the downsides, and the risk of associating focus so much on celebrating wins, and let's just say for a recovering perfectionist, you know what I mean? And I guess you have people that are so driven that don't understand. Well, I'm not going to say they don't understand, that are so driven that those small wins can be addictive. Does that make sense?
Then this is planning your own failure, right? That's not preparing your failure. They're so used to doing the small wins that we're scared to take on the actual meaning of it. You lost the meaning of your wins, right? The downside is that you minimize your actual win as a lifestyle, right? A lot of us think win is an ending. For me, winning is a lifestyle. So I had to switch that. There's no end goal to my win. My win is a reminder of my lifestyle. Right? I love T-Pain. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Like I love that mindset because it's no matter what's happening, I am winning because I exist, I breathe, I have purpose, I am present, I have my reasons. If you want to understand, you can join me.
Right.
If you don't have your own reasons, you can't. You don't want to win. You just want to be around me. I call those SBAs, success by associations. I don't need SBAs.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
You're with me.
Yeah. I like that answer. Let me tell you why I like that answer, because you do have people that they will, those small wins, they seem to be enough, but then they're not enough. You understand what I'm saying? And just as you say, prepare for failure is because it's not enough. And so because they look at that win as the ultimate. There was a question that was posed to me the other day and about free. Did I believe that it was a such thing as free? And let me tell you how I answered that question. I said, you know what? Can I be very honest? I said, just like we will forever heal, we'll be forever healing every day. I don't believe there's the ultimate freeness. And why I don't is because we've been on this earth for how many years that you've been on this earth. And so you will always have this mindset on something and you just have to work to get out of it. So if you're continuously doing the work to get out of it, is that truly free?
To me, free is a concept. It's not free has always been a concept to me. And because my freedom is a concept I use to help manage the idea, to manage the lifestyle of what peace may mean. Right? I just want my peace. I just want my peace. I just want my peace. It's like, so it's like, up here is freedom. But what we're trying to really get to is peace.
Yes.
But peace is actually inside of us.
Yes.
So it's like you're trying to find something that's actually in you, but you don't want to actually go in. And so you make it about everything else around you.
Yes. Yes. I was hoping that we align there, because that's exactly what I said. That's exactly, I didn't say the same word, but it was peace. It was more of peace than freedom. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peace is my choice. Freedom is the ideology. Right.
Yeah. All right. That's some good work today on this April Fool's Day.
Yeah, right. April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day.
Okay. April Fool's Day. All right, my beautiful people. Well, again, thank you, Dr. Will. We always have a good old time. Time is just moving on. All right, my beautiful people. So as we wrap up today's episode, let's remember that every step forward, no matter how small, it is a reason to celebrate. And Dr. Will, again, I thank you. I thank you for your invaluable insights today. Do you have any last words, one or two? or 4 or 5 words that you want to share?
Go small today. Go small this week. Go small today.
Go small a day. I like that. Go small a day. All right, to my beautiful listeners here, I want you to keep celebrating your progress and embracing your journey with kindness and appreciation. And join us next, to the next episode of another inspiring episode. So until then, I want you to take care and love yourself a little more every day. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. And we hope that you enjoyed this fun filled with inspiration, empowerment, and self-discovery. Remember, practicing self-love is a journey and not a destination. For more information and to stay connected with us, visit our website at theseasonofselflovepodcast.com. And if you have any suggestions or questions or feedback, feel free to shoot us an email at seasonofselflove@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for daily doses of self-love tips, motivation, and community support. So join our Facebook group, The Season of Self-Love, to connect with like-minded individuals on their journey to self-discovery and self-compassion. Thank you again for being a part of our community and dedicating to nurturing self-love and embracing self-worth. So stay tuned for more exciting episodes and guests in the next season. And remember, you are worthy of love, kindness, and all the happiness in the world. So until next time, take care of yourself and spread love wherever you go. See you soon.